an hour down to 8 miles an hour, and the rain continues to pelt us. I'll add up the rainfall total, Jim, in a minute, see how much we've had so far today. We're well over an inch, but we're only in the early stages of Harvey's rainfall. And as you know, Jim, the storm is going to slow down and just park and fester, meander for days to come. Jim, back to you in Corpus.
Mike, I wanted to ask you something. We did not have mandatory evacuations here. You did. At the end of the day, it really doesn't mean anything because it can't make you leave, okay? But the bottom line is it does kind of give you a sense of urgency to the fact that if you don't leave, you could die. So some of our discussions this morning on the Weather Channel, we were talking to some of these mayors, and they were saying, you know, hey, we're a little concerned because we've only had about 60 to 70% of the people leave. Where you are, give us the outline of the mandatory evac that's been ordered up that way, and how many people that if you know, or the percentage, have actually heeded that evacuation.
I don't have numbers, but we drove through town last night, and a lot of folks had boarded up. Many people had left town. I would say it's got to be upwards of 80 to 90% or more have left town here. Now, remember, the difference between Port Lavaca and Corpus, the population here is about 12,500. In Corpus, we're talking a metro area of about 250,000. So the evacuation here it doesn't take nearly as much time. Granted, there are only 2 roads out, 2 lanes here, and then 87 up to Victoria. But we did talk to a lot of folks yesterday at lunchtime when they issued the evacuation, Jim, and I heard guys that have been living here for a while saying, thank goodness, that's a great thing to do. Let's get the people out of harm's way. You have to remember, the last time they evacuated Port Lavaca and this county, Calhoun County, was for Ike. But Ike jogged north, so they didn't get much of an impact from Ike here. They were on the offshore side. So you really have to go back to Celia in 1970, and the bellwether is Carla in 1961, which was the last Cat 4 hurricane to make landfall in Texas. Whoa, there's a good gust, Jim. We're up elevated a little bit above the water. I think you're down near the water, but what we're not getting yet are those bands from the eye wall, some of the outer bands, and those bands certainly will really rock us here later on this evening and overnight here in Port Lavaca. And I'm afraid that places like Aransas Pass, Rockport, Port O'Connor are going to be devastated by this hurricane.
No question about it. Mike, when we come back after break, I want to talk to you a little bit about, show us around, show us how high you expect the water to get, and you know, essentially what that's going to look like for you when you're in the heat of battle here tonight, probably over the next couple of hours. Guys, oh, we have 2.5. I'm sorry, I thought you said 30 seconds. So let's do that now, Mike Seidel. There was a little bit of light left, Mike. Show me how, you know, what's the surge expected and how high you expect that, because when the Hurricane Center does this, what they're giving us is total water rise. All right, so that's as high as the water going to get. We know that there's 6 to 12 feet is what we're expecting to get through here. But Mike, what are you expecting to see where you are? Holy smoke.
Well, we expect at least 6 or 7 feet here in Lavaca Bay. Again, we're 30 miles inland, but the water's going to be pushed up Matagorda Bay into Lavaca Bay. We've probably come up a couple of feet. It's hard to tell because you've got the waves superimposed on top of the water level, and they're crashing here. And remember, the wind is from the northeast, so it doesn't have a very long fetch here. You can barely make out the other side. That's Port Comfort and the refinery over there. That's a couple of miles or so. So you don't have a long fetch for the wave energy, the wind to pile up the water and build these waves. It's a whole different story out on the Gulf Coast where you have open water for miles and miles, and the buoys, they were reporting waves this afternoon over 20, 25 feet. Here we won't have the wave action, but we will still have the water rise, Jim. And again, this hotel is in great shape because we are safely above any projected forecast water rise and surge here in Port Lavaca. Again, where I'm standing about 15 to 16 feet above where the water is now, and we're very confident that the water is not going to get that high here with Hurricane Harvey. Jim, back to you in Corpus.
Well, good news, Mike. That's exactly what I expected to hear from you, buddy. Again, guys, just so you know, a little behind the scenes, when we come out to a location, we don't just show up, turn on a satellite truck and run some cable and do lives. We look at it. We look at where we are with respect to where the surge is going to be, or where we were told it's going to be anyway, and we basically plan our shots from there. Sometimes it doesn't go well. Oftentimes it does. And Mike's kind of laying out for us a pretty good example of how we do things. Again, he has not gotten into the eye wall yet. No one has, but it's imminent for the central coast of Texas. Category 4, Hurricane Harvey, coming on shore tonight. Stick around, guys. Look forward to come here on the Weather Channel as night sets on what is just the beginning of a multi-day, multi-hazard situation with Harvey.
Please, help!
The running of the bold dogs? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Aaliyah saved by switching to Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Nick was born to move. Not necessarily after 3 toddlers with boundless energy. But lower back pain won't stop him from keeping up. Because at a Dr. Scholl's kiosk, he got a recommendation for our best custom-fit orthotic to relieve his foot, knee, or lower back pain from being on his feet by reducing shock and stress on his body with every step. So look out, world. Dad's taking charge. Dr. Scholl's, born to move. You might take something for your heart, your joints, or your digestion. So why wouldn't you take something for the most important part of you, your brain? With an ingredient originally found in jellyfish, Prevagen is now the #1 selling brain health supplement in drugstores nationwide. Prevagen, the name to remember.
It's your first day on the job. Walk in like you own the place.
Now at Men's Warehouse, get 3 for $99 dress shirts plus buy one, get one on select items. It's time to like the way you look.
This Labor Day at Enterprise Car Sales. Experience great customer service and get more for your trade August 25th through September 5th. And let Enterprise Car Sales flip your thinking about buying your next vehicle.
I'm proud of what the Weather Channel is. It's a place you can turn to and trust.
Our team's taking you into the storm with live reports and expertise you won't get anywhere else.
We are meteorologists, and that makes a tremendous difference.
When it comes to a weather situation that warrants attention, we're the place to go. It's that simple.
Introducing the all-new DR Leaf and Lawn Vacuum, now at our lowest price ever. The DR cleans up acres of leaves and grass while you mow. In the spring, collect dead grass, wet leaves, and twigs from storm damage. Come summer, the DR makes a great high-capacity bagger, and in the fall, turns days of raking into a drive in the park. When it's time to unload, nothing could be easier. Look, just one hand. Plus, with the collector top removed, you've got a rugged utility cart that's great for all kinds of hauling chores. The DR is the most powerful, most versatile lawn machine you can buy.
Call 1-800-731-6506 for a free buyer's guide and DVD. Learn how you can qualify for 0% financing and try a DR on your own property for 1 year. Free shipping is now in effect. That's 1-800-731-6506. Online at drleafvac.com.
I think what makes the Weather Channel's coverage unique is that we are meteorologists. We know the weather, and that makes a tremendous difference.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under fair skies. Tonight, mainly clear skies. Low 62. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, mostly sunny skies. High 86. Winds south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday night, late night thunderstorms. Low 66. Chance of rain 80%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Harvey coverage continuing here on the Weather Channel as we've had a gust now in Port Aransas of 103 miles per hour. With gusts 130, actually over 130 miles per hour, we have not seen the worst of the eye wall yet there. It is just starting to touch the coastline. And we got a long way to go with this as this thing is just slowly marching to the northwest at 10 miles per hour. Here in Corpus Christi, we've had a couple of occasional power flashes in through here. It has been the wind and the rain. The Naval Air Station has gusted to 75 miles per hour. Coquille Bay has gusted to 85 miles per hour. And as I mentioned, Port Aransas tops the gust at 103. So we've just started this thing. Rainfall, in terms of the tropical downpours, we could see it on this end have not been this heavy. But there's a lot more convergence up on the northeast side of this and some pretty heavy rain as well. Let's go up about an hour to my north to Port Lavaca. Seidel, you're a genius when it comes to maps. I'm trying to imagine the coast of Texas right now, and there's a lot of barrier islands that protect this place. But there's one area, I can't remember if it's Port O'Connor or Freeport, that doesn't they're right on the water. Which town is that? Do you remember?
Jim, I have to apologize. As soon as I heard the word genius, I couldn't hear anything else, but I'll thank you. I heard about Port O'Connor.
Okay.
Yeah, Port O'Connor is right out there. It's about 25 miles away. And you can see what we're dealing with now, a bit of a squall coming through. These winds have been gusting 40 to 50 miles an hour. Look at the water coming up here on the seawall and coming into the front yard of the Holiday Inn. We'll swing around. You can see some of the stones that have been picked up by the water and tossed inward. You can see the wind across the parking lot here. So now we're getting wind without any protection coming right into me. And you can see you have to hold your ground. And again, we're not even getting anything close to what they're seeing in Port Aransas. This has got to be pushing 50 miles an hour right now. Pretty good sustained wind here, blowing me around. The power is still on. We expect the power will go out at some point. We hope it doesn't, but the locals pretty confident at some point later tonight the power will go out, but right now we're holding on to the juice. And look at the water. Earlier today, this was all sea oats. So this water has definitely come up a couple of feet, and it will continue to come up as the eye of Harvey comes on shore and goes probably just off to our west, making a line towards the Victoria area after midnight tonight. But in the meantime, we're just inland from Port O'Connor, and we're north and east of Port Aransas. So Jim, just a wild scene out here, and this is just the leading edge of what's going to be a long, raucous night and weekend here on the coast of Texas. Jim, back to you in Corpus.
No question, Mike. This is day one of League 6. Again, guys, right here, this is Shoreline Drive in Corpus Christi. The bay is off to my right, all right? There are occasionally cars that drive by. Occasionally, I do see a little flash. It looks like a little flash of power from time to time, but I'm not going to say that's exactly what I see because I don't know. But if you look at the palm trees, especially off to my left here, you can see how they're just being bent and almost pushed down a little bit by the force of the wind. It's been very, very strong, and like I said, we have gusted only to hurricane force in through here. Much more to come, obviously, with this storm, especially for areas like where Mike is in Port Lavaca, Port O'Connor, Freeport, Rockport, all these areas that were asked to evacuate. And boy, do we hope that you did. The storm, again, just beginning in terms of dealing with a Category 4 landfall. The last time the coast of Texas had a Category 4 was Carlin, 61. Our last Cat 4 was Charlie in 2004 in Florida.
Let's dance, Grandma.
You don't let anything keep you sidelined.
Come on.
That's why you drink Ensure with 9 grams of protein and 26 vitamins and minerals for the strength and energy to get back to doing what you love. Ensure, always be you.
I take pictures of sunrises, but with my back pain, I couldn't sleep and get up in time. Then I found Aleve PM.
Aleve PM is the only one to combine a safe sleep aid plus the 12-hour pain-relieving strength of Aleve.
I'm back.
Aleve PM for a better AM.
Hi, delivery for Miller? That's me. Sign there, please.
Laser-measured floor liners from WeatherTech provide the ultimate protection from spills and messes. They protect the front, back, and even up the sides of your vehicle. Order yours today at WeatherTech.com and see our entire line of over 100 automotive accessories. WeatherTech, made right in America.
Happens all the time. Library break!
Have a break! Have a Kit Kat! It's 6 a.m. 40 million Americans are waking up to a Gillette shave. And at our factory in Boston, 1,200